NBL. There's ANZ netball action as well as golf, but the big news from a Kiwi point of view is going to be in motorsport with the IndyCar, but also there's a Grand Prix to report on as well. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's start off with the golf action from around the world. First off, we had the Lpga over in Singapore, having their HSBC Women's Championships. And Kim put in a storming final round of 8 under par to win 17 under par, 1 shot clear of green from Australia. Lydia Ko couldn't put on that final charge, getting 1 under par in the final round to finish at 11 under par in tied 7th place. So decent showing from Lydia after she won that tournament two tournaments ago. Next up there, it's the Honda Lpga in Thailand next weekend. And keep it right here at New Zealand Sports Radio. We'll keep you in touch with how that one goes. Over on the European Tour, and no Kiwis in action at the Tenerife Open, where Bern Snyder won at 25 under par, 5 shots clear of his closest rival. Over in the States, and it's the Valspar Championship there. Unfortunately, Tim, I've gone blank. Wilkinson missed out on the cut for this one, but Danny Lee is still in action there. It's the 4th round is currently underway. He has finished 5 under par, currently in tied 16th. But as I say, it's still live, that one. But a decent tournament for Danny Lee, making the cut and getting into the weekend's play and hopefully finishing in the top 20 there. Over in the A-League in Australia, in the football, and Melbourne Victory drew 1-1 with the Central Coast Mariners yesterday. Good result for Melbourne Victory, who are down in 11th place, picking up their 3rd draw of the season, but not so good for Central Coast Mariners, who couldn't close the gap on Melbourne City at the top, and also they've played 2 more games in Melbourne City. Part of a bit of a log jam there. Only 2 points separate 5th all the way through to 2nd. So very tight there in that one. In the A-League, with Melbourne City having a little buffer, a little gap there at the top of the table. Moving on to the NRL, and yesterday we had 2 games. We'll bring in the report of the Warriors versus the Cowboys in a second, but the Dragons were downed by West Tigers 16-8. And let's bring Richie in from the Standoff Show, which you can catch at 8 p.m. every single Wednesday, getting all your NRL updates with our report from the Warriors versus the Cowboys.
Hi everybody, it's Rich from the Standoff Show on Wednesday nights with a quick report on the Warriors Round 8 clash with the North Queensland Cowboys, which the Warriors won 24-20. It truly was a game of 2 halves, with the Warriors outscoring the Cowboys 4-1 in the first half. Tries for Cody Nikarima, Rocco Berry, Ben Murdoch-Masila and Adam Pompey, to the Cowboys 1 try through Reece Robson. The Warriors took a 24-4 lead into the break and were seemingly in complete control and were playing outstanding footy. For whatever reason, after halftime, the Warriors' ball handling deserted them and the Cowboys clawed their way back into things, and the Cowboys managed to put on 3 more tries and hold the Warriors scoreless in the second half. So it made for a very tense and tight finish. The Warriors will be a little bit aggrieved with the 12 errors they put up for the game versus the Cowboys' 6 errors, and that was the tale of the second half. Really, the Warriors just couldn't control the ball and allowed the Cowboys to come back into it.
Thank you, Richie, for that update. And that means that the Warriors climb up into 7th place in the table. The Panthers top the table with 8 wins from their 8 games so far, 2 points clear of the Eels and the Rabbitohs. Moving on then to the cricket, and in the test match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, Bangladesh are going to have a tough final day there. Currently, they trail by 260 runs, but only have 5 wickets in hand. Sri Lanka declared for 194 in their second innings and have Bangladesh 177 for 5. So in total, control there, having already taken the top 5 batsmen. So it's down to Das and Miraz there to help try and save things. Mendes with 3 wickets and Joe Wickrama with 2 are leading the way for Sri Lanka in that one. Looking at the IPL, the Punjab Kings took on the Delhi Capitals in the 29th game of the season. It was all the Punjab Kings innings was all about their captain Agarwal, who scored 99 off 58 balls. No one else really stuck around to help him out as they reached 166 for 6. The Delhi Capitals, Rabadad with 3 wickets led the way there from the bowling. In the batting, and Dewan batted through the innings, scoring 69 off 47 balls. He got some good support from Shaw initially with 39, and Hedmeyer with 16 not out to see them through to win the game with more than 2 overs to spare in that one. So Delhi Capitals taking the win with 14 balls remaining over the Punjab Kings. Also, the Rajasthan Royals took on Sunrisers Hyderabad. Rajasthan Royals put up a big total as Josh Butler scored 124 off just 64 balls. Samson, the wicketkeeper captain, also chipped in with 48 off 33 as I reached to say 220 for 3 in that one. The only bowler, Khan, to really had some controls, just allowing 24 runs off his 4 overs, but the others all got punished in that chase. Sunrisers really had a good opening stand between Pandey with 31 and Johnny Bairstow with 30, but Kane Williamson got 20 off 21, and no one else really managed to stick around, and they finished 165 for 8 there. Rahman taking 3 wickets for just 20 runs, and Chris Morris 3 off 29 runs, meaning that the Royals won by 55 runs in that one. Also, Kane Williamson has been given the captaincy of the Sunrisers. Previously, David Warner was captain there. So, having had a poor start to the season, they've decided to change their captaincy for the Sunrisers. Dave Warner did not play in that game at the weekend. Let's moving on then to the IndyCar then, or into motorsport. Actually, before we go on to the IndyCar, there was also the Grand Prix that Lewis Hamilton beat Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas in the Portuguese Grand Prix there. But as I say, it was all about the IndyCar. So Scott Dixon picked up his first win of the season in the 3rd race. He led for 206 of the 212 laps of this one, and getting the 5-time champion winning there. But that wasn't the big news. The big news was Scott McLaughlin, who started from 15th on the grid and finished 2nd. So Kiwi 1-2 over there in the IndyCar. And this is getting into 2nd place in just his 3rd race in his debut season. So fantastic result for Scott McLaughlin. he has definitely got his pit crew to thank for that, as well as some very good pitting and work there. Really helped him climb out. He got him from third to second in the second pit stop, for example. So fantastic result for Scott McLaughlin there. The next race is actually this morning at 9 a.m. So just in just under 2 hours. He did admit, though, that he very nearly let emotion get too much of it, get the better of him, as a late caution. And he's looking around going, well, look, I'm doing really well. But he managed to hold it together to finish in second place. Great result for him in his debut season. Let's move on then to the basketball. And over in the NBA, there were 10 games yesterday. Some of the key results: so the Pacers thrashed the Thunder 152-95. The Jazz beat the Raptors 106-102, and the Nuggets beat the Clippers 110-104. Steven Adams' Pelicans were in action again without him, as he is missing through injury. But the Pelicans came out strong, taking an early lead, only for the Timberwolves to fight back in the second quarter. It was tight all the way through, and it ended up having to go to overtime, where the Pelicans came out on top 17-13 to win the game, 140-136 in that one. Leading the way, Zion Williamson with 37 points. Willie Helen Gomez, another double-double with 12 rebounds and 12 points, plus also Lonzo Ball with a double-double with 11 rebounds and 33 points there. So good result for the Pelicans in that one, which sees them having strung 2 wins in a row, which is good for them. They're down in 11th place with having 29 wins and 35 losses this season. So 2 wins in a row, a good start. Maybe hopefully they can find some good form. Still, the Jazz and the Suns are in the playoffs. Next up is the Nuggets, who have overtaken the Clippers there with Nuggets on a 5-game winning streak. Over on the Eastern Conference side, the Nets and the 76ers are in the playoffs already, with the Bucks and Knicks next up in the table. Over in the NBL in Australia, one game yesterday as Melbourne United beat the Kings 103-78. A big win there for Melbourne United, with first beating third, and Melbourne United cementing their spot at the top of the table in that one. In the Sal's NBL over here in New Zealand, and Hawke's Bay Hawks got themselves into action for the first game of the season, and they really laid down a marker, scoring winning the game 104-90 over the Canterbury Rams. Real tough start to the season for the Rams, now who've lost both their opening 2 games. But the Hawke's Bay Hawks are really putting down a statement there to the other teams in their first game of the season. This is that's it. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all the important sports news. We've got through it all now. Hope you have a wonderful start to your week. I'll be back here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with the morning sports briefing, and do join us on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the Driving Maul show, where we'll go through all of the hot topics in rugby.